Speaking Spanish is one thing, but making a conversation flow is another. If the silence and thinking process kill your conversations, here are 5 types of very short phrases that will help you make the conversation flow without any effort and sound fluent even if you're just a beginner. Like the first one, the universal connector. When someone asks you something or tells you something and you need half a second to process and organize your thoughts before you answer, you can use one of these, and we have different types. For example, we have es que, is that. We use this one to introduce an explanation or an excuse. Like if somebody says, ayer no viniste a la fiesta. Yesterday, you didn't come to the party. You can start by saying, es que, and then think about the excuse. Es que tenía mucho trabajo. Is that I had a lot of work. That way you avoid the silence or starting to do like es que, and then give your explanation. Now, if you want to validate what they say, but then contradict it, give a contradiction, you can use ya, pero, meaning like I know, but, for example, Javier es muy guapo. Javier is very handsome. Ya, pero es muy aburrido. I know, but he's really boring. Like, I validate what you said, he's handsome, but he's boring. Much more natural than stay silent and then he's boring. Not as fluid, not as nice. We use these phrases all the time, Spanish native speakers. Now, let's say that you want to add something to what the other person says. You can say something like, sí, además, meaning yes, besides, yes, and in addition, yes, and, like, oh, esta casa es preciosa. Oh, this house is beautiful. Sí, además, está cerca de la playa. Yes, and besides, in addition, it's near the beach. So I add something to what you just said. Another type is the agreement phrases or words, like, claro, sure, of course. Like, hoy estoy muy cansado. Today I'm very tired. Claro, anoche no dormiste nada. Sure, last night you didn't sleep at all. And this one you can use to show like doubt or possibility. Puede ser, might be. We use this one to not say that you are not right, but I don't want to agree either. Like, creo que Ana está enfadada. I think Ana is angry. Puede ser. Ayer no dijo ni hola. Might be, maybe. Yesterday, she didn't even say hello. So I'm not saying that you're right and she's angry, but I'm not saying that she's not. You see how these little phrases keep the conversation alive and it sounds super natural, super fluid? So don't be afraid to try them. Let's see the second type. I call this the emotional echo. And this is the fastest way to react to what people say. Whether it's good news, bad news, and you don't need conjugations, you don't need anything. You just need the word que. For example, to react to good news or something good, que bien, meaning that's great. For example, voy a España de vacaciones. I'm going to Spain on vacation. ¡Qué bien! Disfruta mucho. That's great. Enjoy. People love this, and it's a really quick way to connect with somebody and what they are saying. It builds an immediate feedback and connection. The opposite would be qué mal. That's bad or that sucks. For example, llovió toda la semana. It rained a whole week. Qué mal. And you can just leave it like that. Meaning like, oh, that sucks. Qué raro. That's weird. Like, mi teléfono no funciona. My phone doesn't work. Qué raro. Antes funcionaba. That's weird. Before it was working. Another one would be, qué desastre. That's a disaster. Like if somebody tells you, me perdieron las maletas. They lost my bags, my suitcases, my luggage. You can just say, ¡qué desastre! What a disaster! That's a disaster. And this one we use in Spain a lot, meaning that something is shocking, and it's ¡qué fuerte! The translation would be how strong, but we use it for something shocking, something we don't expect or we don't believe. Kind of like, wow. It can be good or bad. Like, María dejó a Pedro. María left Pedro. ¡Qué fuerte! No lo sabía. Wow, I didn't know. So what you are doing here is sharing that emotion, and that builds connection and keeps the conversation going and flowing. Before we continue to number 3, Patreon family members, don't forget you have all of these phrases ready to download on our page. Let's see the third type. You can use one of these when you don't want to agree or disagree, but also when you don't know the answer or you don't know what to say. Like, ni idea, no idea. ¿Cuándo abren el mercado? When do they open the market? Ni idea, no idea. Or we use this one a lot. No lo sé, la verdad. I honestly don't know. Like if somebody asks me, ¿debería mudarme a España? Should I move to Spain? No lo sé, la verdad. I honestly don't know. I don't want that responsibility. No estoy seguro, or if you're a woman, no estoy segura, I'm not sure. ¿Dónde está la estación de tren? Where is the train station? No estoy seguro. I'm not sure. Another one would be no creo. I don't think so. Like, ¿hará frío en España en agosto? Will it be cold in Spain in August? No creo. Es verano. I don't think so. It's summer. But I'm not saying that I'm sure. It's just an opinion. It's just what I think. And this one, a lot of students don't use it, but we actually do a lot. A lo mejor. Maybe. Might be. Like, ¿vendrás mañana a comer? Will you come tomorrow for lunch? A lo mejor. Maybe. So not having a straight answer can also help keep the conversation going. Better than a silence trying to answer. If you don't know, you don't know. If you're not sure, you're not sure. So you can just go with that. All right, let's see the type number 4. The question flip. And I always tell this to my students. If you want to have a real conversation in Spanish, ask the other person. And they don't have to be complicated questions. You just need to include them in the conversation by asking what they think. So when I say something, I ask you at the end with simple phrases like, ¿Tú qué opinas? What do you think? What's your opinion? For example, me gusta esta casa. ¿Tú qué opinas? I like this house. What do you think? That is the best way to keep the conversation going because I didn't stop there. Now I want to know what you think. Another way to ask what do you think in Spanish is ¿A ti qué te parece? The translation is more like what does it seem to you? But in practice is what do you think? Like, este hotel está muy bien. ¿A ti qué te parece? This hotel is quite nice. What do you think? Or another way would be, ¿Tú qué crees? What do you think? What do you believe? Like, este trabajo es mejor. ¿Tú qué crees? This job is better. What do you think? And another one that is a bit different is, ¿Tú qué harías? Meaning, what would you do? Like if you were me, if you were in my situation, what would you do? ¿Viajo a España o a Italia? ¿Tú qué harías? Shall I travel to Spain or Italy? What would you do? People also love to feel like their opinion matters. So by asking these few questions, you make the conversation much better, much natural, and longer. And the type number 5 is the confirmation. And these are very short questions, again, that we put at the end of a phrase, just to get a confirmation from the other person. Also a very quick, very easy way to flip the conversation and let them speak. For example, ¿Sabes? You know? Me encantó el viaje a España, ¿sabes? I love the trip to Spain, you know? Rather than me encantó el viaje a España. Stop. There is no more there. So that ¿sabes? Gives you an opportunity to keep telling the story, or you give them the chance to participate in the conversation. And maybe they say like, oh yeah, I went there 2 years ago and it was nice. Do you see the difference here? Very small change, but big difference in flow of the conversation. Another one would be, ¿verdad? Right? Like, oh, este restaurante está muy bien, ¿verdad? This restaurant is quite nice, right? So I'm expecting you to confirm what I just said. Or say something else. Maybe you have a different opinion. But I open the conversation. Another way to say right that very few people know is ¿a que sí? It's kind of like, isn't that right? Like, el viaje fue muy corto. ¿A que sí? The trip was very short, right? Isn't that right? This one that most of you know, vale, okay. So I'm looking for the other person to agree with me. Mañana iremos a la Sagrada Familia. Vale? Tomorrow we're going to Sagrada Familia. Okay? The answer to this is just vale. Okay. And the last one would be, ¿no crees? Don't you think? Like, es mejor visitar Barcelona en septiembre. ¿No crees? It's better to visit Barcelona in September, don't you think? Less people, cheaper. So again, I'm opening the conversation for you to tell me what you think, expecting you to agree, but you can disagree as well. Alright, so those are the 5 types of little phrases you can use to avoid silence, to make the conversation flow, and to sound more like a native speaker, and just better. It just sounds better. What to do now? Pick one of these phrases that I gave you and make a sentence and drop it in the comments. I check all of them. If you liked the video and found it useful, please consider subscribing and sharing it so it can reach more people. Any questions or comments, you know what to do, and I will see you in the next one. Hasta luego!